If you've ever wondered how to make a little extra cash buying and selling coins, or how to become a vest pocket coin dealer, then this video is for you. We're going to cover a lot of those subjects, and I'm going to tell you a little bit of how we do things here. So my name is Daniel, and this is Coin Help You. Thanks for watching my latest video. Please like, share, and comment, and click the little bell beside the subscribe button so that you get the latest video releases. Today, we're going to go over all the points of buying and selling coins, and maybe you can find a way to make a little extra cash on the side. So this video is just for some potential vest pocket dealers that just want to earn a little extra cash on the side. I mean, starting up an actual business in itself is tough, let alone a coin business. I'm not saying you shouldn't try it, but that's not what this video is for. If that's what you're looking for, it's just a little idea to, what you can make a little extra cash with. So what first you want to do is you want a gray sheet. And Coin Dealer Newsletter is what it's called, and a lot of people call it bid, or they call it sheet. And you want to try to buy coins 10 to 20% back a bid, if you can. If you have to pay bid for a key date, just make sure you have sellers who are going to buy it for 10 to 20% above bid. That's kind of the rule of thumb, 10 to 20% above bid. You can do all right if you buy a bid, and modern proof sets and commemoratives and mint sets and all that, you typically are buying around 35% or more back a bid. So 35 to 50% back a bid for some sets. The thing of it is, gold doesn't apply to that. Your gold, you're going to try to be in around 92% on gold. Gold's hard to make money on. I mean, you can take it to the refinery for 98%. It's hard to sell it for melt. Sometimes you can get a little above melt off of it. When it comes to 90% silver, you want to be 80 to 90% of melt. Most of the common dates and circulated coins, you're going to have to sell at melt, and you may get a little above melt, but you're really going to have to cherry pick through and find better grades or better dates and mints. Obviously key dates, you want to pay up for it. You want to use your gray sheet for the key dates. If you're buying graded coins, you can often use sold auctions like eBay sold auctions. You can use heritage or stack sold auctions, and also use the gray sheet bid sheet. That way you can kind of come up with an idea of how to make an offer. If you're going to look at eBay and sell it on eBay, then you want to definitely consider the fees there. And a lot of this is hit and miss. I mean, you'll get better at it as you do it more and more. Places to buy coins, you can go to flea markets, garage sales, or even a coin dealer. Sometimes you can even buy some things off eBay. But what you want to avoid is anything that's claiming that's an estate sale or a lot. You don't want to get involved in buying lots that you can't see. You don't want to buy rolls that you can't see the coins in. You don't want to buy boxes, PCGS boxes or NGC boxes you can't see the coins in. You might get a box of SGS coins. You don't want to buy coins from PCGS, NGC, ICG, or Annex. You don't want to get caught up in trying to think that a grading company or a fake grading company got it right one time and you're getting a good deal on it. A lot of times those coins are just cleaned. They're misrepresented. You don't want that. You can visit my website and see all the fake grading companies or the fake holders, and you don't want to get caught up in that game. When you go to if you don't go to local auctions, if you go to local auctions and try to bid on coins, what's going to happen is you're going to get bid up, and they're going to sell for above a profitability margin. You can't do it. You just won't be able to make money doing it that way. If you can find an auction that didn't have coins advertised but actually has coins, you might be able to do okay, but otherwise I'd stay away from the local coin auctions. Also, one of the things you want to avoid is any holder that has writing on it. Just don't pay attention to it if it's handwritten. If you do, you're going to buy a coin that's misrepresented. Yeah, you want to avoid sellers from other countries, because a lot of those are selling fakes, misrepresented coins, coins that are overgraded, coins that are pocket change, misrepresented errors that are damaged coins. A lot of them, Etsy and AliExpress are a perfect example of what you should need to be careful when it comes to buying coins. You don't want to get caught up in doing that. If you do buy from someone, you want to use PayPal, goods and services. Don't use friends and family. You can try to buy from a coin dealer. You can go to their shop. Sometimes they've got lots of coins, or they've got multiples and coins they don't care about, and that's what you want to look for. You don't want to try to buy their good stuff, their better stuff, and think you're going to flip it or send it off for grading. Dealers, usually that's their bread and butter. That's how they make their extra money. Don't give them an attitude if they don't want you to cherry pick their coins. You can also find varieties and errors in some of their miscellaneous coins or their mint sets and proof sets. If they don't want you looking through them, then you got to honor that. But if they let you and you do find something good, don't throw it in their face. Take it home and be happy. Send it off, have it graded, You're going to make more money off of junk more than likely than you are the good stuff. Now, every once in a while you can make some money on some good stuff, but if you're just doing this part-time and on the side, you can buy a box of just basically common junk stuff for a really low price, and you can piece it out and sell it for more money. You can put a little ad in the newspaper, on Craigslist. You can run a little ad on Facebook for $5-10 saying that you're buying coins. That's a good way to do it. You can actually join a coin club and let people know you're buying coins. You can actually have some cards made up and you can pass cards out. If you do buy locally off of people who want to sell their coins, you want to meet them at the library or a bank, you know, some neutral site if possible. I don't condone always going to someone's house, but sometimes that's a possibility too. You can also take your coins, if you already have a coin collection, get you a case that locks. Coinzip.com is, my opinion, the best place to look up coin shows. You can get on there your state, look up the cities, call up the host of the coin show, and you can usually get a table for $45 to $100. Once you get that dealer's badge, and you put your coins there in a little case, and you get your dealer's badge, you can also often buy from wholesale dealers that set up at these shows. You know, there's a lot of competition and the tables are kind of full, so you have to be patient, you have to be polite, but sometimes you can squeeze in maybe later in the show or whatever, or go to other dealers and see if you can get a decent deal. A lot of times they'll sell to you a little bit better if they know you're trying to start out, trying to make a little extra cash. You know, be open when someone tries to teach you, because you're going to get some advice from dealers. You know, just be polite, develop your relationships. It's a good way to get deals at the shows. And you can also sell, like I said, on eBay, Let Go, USA Coin Book has auctions. You can sell in the Facebook groups. You know, you just got to watch your fees and know how much it's going to cost you to sell there. You know, typically it costs us about 14% to sell at eBay. So obviously we try to sell other places if we can. But we have a shop, so we can sell out in front of the shop. We go to shows. You know, these are things that we do all the time. You know, you can go to flea markets, sell. You can set up there. You can also rent an antique booth. And an antique booth also offers an opportunity. Maybe you can talk to the owner or the manager and see if you can set up a card table on the weekends or whenever you have some free time, and put a little ad in that you're selling or you're buying coins and selling coins at the antique booth. They might enjoy that traffic. You know, that's a little advertisement too for them. You know, so I hope that this helped you learn some pointers and some do's and don'ts and pros and cons of buying and selling coins, and to make yourself some extra cash. You know, if you have any other questions, you can put them in the comments and I'll be glad to answer them for you. But anyways, thanks for watching my latest video. Like, share, and comment, and click that little bell beside the subscribe button, and have a great day.